Although wild animals shouldn't be kept as pets, there are instances in which they interact with people and grow to love them. They also possess intuitions beyond human comprehension, and they would sacrifice anything for those they love, including people. That's what occurred in today's story. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. A little girl and a wolf developed a unique friendship, and you won't believe what transpired next. Emily was a little child who lived with her devoted single mother. The two developed a remarkable relationship. They spent a lot of time together, and Emily's favorite activity was going to see her grandparents on the property. The grandparents of Emily lived far away from any towns. In order to travel to the little community, Emily and her mother had to board an aircraft to a large town. Her grandfather would come get them and drive them to the homestead. Emily had a great time there. There was a river and forests all around them, and she could see wildlife almost every day. She enjoyed going fishing with Grandpa Tom and gardening with Granny Lisa. It was a pleasure to simply be there. When Emily questioned her mother about why they couldn't stay there indefinitely, her mother said that she had to work and that she liked having stores and physicians nearby. They frequently visited, and everything was wonderful until all of a sudden. Emily was in a vehicle accident with her mother. They were both transported to the hospital by ambulance. Emily wept uncontrollably for her mother, but the doctor only informed her that her mother was too ill to see. Emily's mother was never going to return home. Her grandparents had to break the news to her when they arrived to take her up. She intended to move in with them permanently. The journey there seemed much longer than usual. The woods were darker than Emily recalled, and all of her favorite things no longer seemed enjoyable. Tom and Lisa were concerned for Emily despite their own suffering, but they also understood that they had to allow her some time to adjust to her new situation. They just were unaware that they would receive assistance from an extremely surprising source. Tom once asked Emily to accompany him on a stroll through the woods. He persisted in telling her that she had to go outdoors and not simply sit there and look at the walls, even though she didn't want to. After a while, she stood up and put on her boots while sulking. They had not gone far when they heard an odd noise that resembled the sobbing of a puppy. As they looked about, they saw a hole in the ground that may have been a trap left by previous hunters. There was a little wolf pup inside with what seemed to be a fractured leg. He appeared sickly and was emaciated. With haste, Tom descended and gave him to Emily. They glanced around, but Tom could tell that the remainder of the pack had long since vanished from the area surrounding the hole. Emily pleaded with him to bring the wolf inside. He couldn't refuse them, but he was afraid that if they failed to save the puppy, it would break his granddaughter's heart even more. After they brought the puppy home, Emily gave him the nickname Jock and thought he would get stronger soon. Tom returned to plug in the hole as Lisa attended to his wounds and supported his leg. He was determined not to let any animal to suffer harm from the trap. Now that Jock's wounds were taken care of, Emily could assist with feeding him. That first night, he licked and ate off her hand. She requested that he be allowed to sleep in her bed by the family. In addition to attempting to get over losing Emily's mother, her grandparents lacked the courage to tell her no. Nothing could be injured by a little additional love, could it? Jock and Lisa grew to be inseparable. His rapid growth meant that he soon outgrew her bed. That he required another seat was acknowledged even by Emily. Thus, Tom constructed him a unique bed, as well as an outdoor kennel. When Emily was with him, he would run through the woods, but he would never leave her side. The nicest part was that Emily was grinning once more. It was heartwarming to witness the child's relationship with the wolf. She was enjoying life once more, and her grandparents would always be appreciative of Jock for that. He had returned their grandchild to them, and they had reared him and accepted him into the family. They'd grown to be his pack, but Emily was his absolute favorite. They never let go of that incredible kinship as she grew older and there were no schools in the region. She was forced to attend boarding school even when she had to travel away to school. Jock discovered a pack at that period and moved in with them. But he'd been there since Emily's return from school, and he wouldn't go until she did. It appeared as though he was aware of her presence. After that, they would talk for hours on end. He would accompany her on camping trips or lie on the riverside while she fished. It was very unique. When Emily was about 17 years old, the weather caused her school to close early one day. She made the decision to surprise her grandparents rather than telling them she was returning home. She boarded the final plane that would depart for several days. She then drove home after borrowing a car from the settlement. The issue was that night was falling, the roads were slick, and the temperature was dropping. The car suddenly began to splutter and backfire till it died while she was halfway home. Emily was rather afraid. She didn't intend to walk. It was already dark outside, and she didn't have a flashlight or anything else to keep her safe. She had no intention of leaving the car's relative protection and making her way home on foot because the woods remained quite wild. However, the risk of remaining in the car until dawn was as high. Even the heater had given up. She hadn't prepared ahead of time and hadn't even brought a blanket with her in her rush to get home. She soon felt as though her thoughts were impossible. She was nodding off. Her grandparents and how much this was going to upset them were all she could think about. Then, when she was about to leave, she remembered Jock. She regarded him as family. She appeared to be able to see him. She slept off after that, unaware that she had really caught a glimpse of Jock through the vehicle window. He was reaching out for her. Though he was unable to unlock the doors, he could sense that she was in danger. He turned and fled as fast as he could, knowing he would never be able to free her. He howled at the door as he hurried home. Lisa and Tom attempted to get Jock inside, supposing he was injured or sobbing from the cold, but he declined. He attempted to pull them by grabbing their garments. Tom finally made up his mind to follow him. He grabbed his heavy coat and mounted an ATV to pursue the restless wolf. He was taken aback when he approached the halted automobile. He had been informed by Jock that someone was having problems. Only as he opened the door did he notice that Emily was inside the car, and she appeared to be dead. After yanking her out, he hurried her home. When Lisa spotted them, the wolf following closely after, she let out a cry. They listened for her pulse, but it was absent. They could feel her, yet she appeared to be gone. They were inconsolable. They had nearly fallen apart after losing their only daughter, but they had to continue for Emily. Their demise would come from losing her. The sun rose in not too much time. She remained very cold to the touch. Tom realized he had to take action since Lisa was unable to take her eyes off her granddaughter. As soon as he phoned the settlement, assistants showed up. After excavating the tomb, they placed Emily inside a unique casket that a friend had supplied. As soon as they covered it up, Lisa started crying. They had barely traveled a short distance when Jock emerged, scowling. He put an end to them. After they had all moved, he dug. Every time someone attempted to stop him, he would get quite irate. Not even Lisa and Tom were getting lucky. Until the grave was entirely uncovered, he would not leave it. Though terrifying, what followed was incredible. He fell silent and rose to the top of the casket. Then the sound of inner groaning was heard by everybody. They quickly opened it and saw Emily was beginning to wake up. She had survived. Her heart was nearly stopped by the cold, but she was starting to wake up as she warmed up. Once again, Jock had rescued them all and had known it all along. We appreciate you viewing this video. Come back soon for more motivational tales. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.